Hi everyone, welcome back in. We are doing another episode of Sims 2 building. We are going to be doing a park today instead of a house. I think it's a little bit different than your average Sims 2 building video. I did start off with a 3x3 park, but it was a little bit too small, so I'm going to actually bulldoze the lot and then we can put in a larger spot for this. So I think we're gonna need more like a little bit of a deeper lot, because if it's too shallow, you're not gonna really have space for some trees and wooded area. 4x4 is probably gonna work for us. So do that. Hop on in there. All right, now that we're in the lot, let's kind of gain an understanding on the terrain. It does appear to be a little uneven, which is fine. We want a little bit of depth with the lot. I do want to put a path in here because, why not break it up and have a little path going through here, some trees, maybe a little pond area. And I'm thinking like a little snack shack type of situation with a cafe, bar, espresso bar, maybe a little area to get some groceries or some fruits and produce and things like that. I think that would be a little bit homey feeling, hometown feeling. So just so I can kind of make sure I can see where we are, I'm just gonna border it a little bit with this, and then I'll just go over it after. But I just want to be able to see where I can go and where I can't go with this. Yeah. I want a little snack shack over here, okay? Exit out that way, down through and back over. I think that's enough there. Now, go over this area here that we had bordered. And now I would like to put maybe raise a little bit more of the terrain so it's not as flat and perfect looking. Yeah, I do want to, I don't want to do that. I'll leave it as it is now, and then we'll kind of raise some areas so it's not completely perfect. We want some little hilly areas of our park, and some areas that, this over here can be a nice big mound with a tree on it. We don't want it too perfect. A little bit more flat in the back here because of our little our stand with the cafe and whatnot, but I think that's pretty nice. And then we'll have our little pond right here. Let's add that. That's really cute. I like that. Where there's water, there's a little bit more lush grass, so we can kind of border this and make it a little bit more lush looking and healthy with the vegetation. And then we can add some of that, kind of the swampier plants around it. That will give us a little bit more realism. So I appreciate everybody's feedback in the last video. I do like how many of you were saying that this was a relaxing video for you. That was my goal. I really was. It was my intention to make this a relaxing experience for you. I did get some feedback, that it was a little bit too, I guess you'd call it, hectic with the movements of the mouse at the beginning of the video. And I did mention that I'm on a MacBook, by the way, so Sims was built for Windows, first of all. And then when they released the opportunity to download it through the App Store, you can't get free time expansion packs, so they kind of stopped there at, I guess it was Bon Voyage, I believe it was. And so I have this one adapter for the microphone. I don't have another adapter for the mouse, so I'm using the trackpad, and I have the microphone hooked up, so it's clearer audio and not me just yelling into my MacBook. So, but it seems to be running pretty well. But yes, I am a Windows person, so I used to play Sims on the Windows computer. I'm gonna flatten this because we're putting a structure over here. Nope, please don't do that. Please just flatten. There we go. Nope, that's not what I'm asking. All right, that should work for right now. We can always go back and alter that terrain if need be. I would like to add some trees to start breaking up this area so we can kind of get an idea on what each section of our park is going to look like. We'd like, maybe some benches here, some area for people to grill, an area for people to go on swings and just kind of make it a more family-friendly environment for people. Don't want it too perfect, just kind of want to scatter some of these pine trees over the terrain. And our breadfruit tree. Don't want too much of one thing in one area, but enough to make it realistic to where you see these clusters of pine trees and bushes and shrubs and other things. Like this. This is a little bit more marshy looking, but it is bamboo. And I think I want this to be the park area. Take a couple of those out. Adds a little bit more color, breaks it up a little bit. I do love those weeping willows. These are really sweet looking. This is looking nice and broken up. Put a couple of trees. There's a birch, I believe. We can put that kind of in the back to border our snack stand. Looks kind of interesting there. Okay. Now, in the last video, I was not using cheats. I was using just what we had. We were working with what we had. We had some, we didn't really need to use any cheats because we weren't building with a family on the lot. We were just using a regular build, the building functions, and kind of figuring out what we wanted for each spot. So we didn't really have a limit, but I want stuff at angles in this map, so I will be using one of the boolProp cheats to give us that option, which I hope everybody's all right with. All right. I really want that here. So let me even that terrain a little bit. Pardon the train if you can hear that in the background. Okay. Just a little area of some of these bush areas over here. Very classy look right here, the picket fence. I always forget which way. Okay, you have to go to left to right to get the inside of the fence on the correct side. So that's how we want to do it. Me, like I said, I'm on the trackpad. My goodness, I'm sorry, folks. This is something going on around here. I would like to break this up a little bit. It is a little too flat, as you can see. It's very flat. We can always throw a couple of little half bushes or something there to give it more color and pop. Okay. It's definitely a little bit more flat here. So I believe that may look okay. Let's get a bird's eye angle. I think that's fine. If it's too flat in multiple spots, then it starts to look a little bit too cookie cutter. But I believe that shape works. It's not perfect, but it's clean. It contains the pond. It makes it a nice little spot. I know sometimes our Sims like to fish, but this is a man-made pond. We'll go with that, right? This is a man-made pond. It's just for the aesthetic of the park. So I would like to transition to our shack, our little area for our Sims where they can buy some food items. area for them to maybe use the restroom off the side. Oops, out of bounds. All right, now we can add a little bit of flooring to this to make it more park looking. Probably poured concrete is more appropriate for a park. That may work the best. What we have currently is the poured gray asphalt, the cement flooring. I think that'll work fine. And this is obviously just a single level. All right, I ended up changing the structure here because the angle I didn't feel was going to work in this instance. So we'll just have a couple of glass doors here that people can walk in and out of. And that will do the trick. I really didn't want it to be this fancy, amazing roof line because it's just a snack shack. It doesn't need to be this perfect roof line. All right. After some playing around with the structure and the roof, I was able to get kind of an idea that it works a little bit better than what we had before. It's cleaner, it's simple, it makes sense. It looks like a little shack. Now, as far as what we were looking for, I think we can just do a regular siding. Nothing too fancy. I think gray would work perfectly for this property. I really think this works well. Now, I'm not sure about this item here, but we don't need that. But this looks great. I think this is very simple and to the point with what we were trying to achieve with this little area where Sims can go in and out of. That's very snack area looking, so I think we might want to have the door facing this way. Looking at this a little bit more, I think the doors would look a little bit better right here rather than in this little cove. It's kind of an awkward spot. I think I'm going to remove the windows here, put them over here, and pull these windows in this section here. It looks a little bit better, I think. Can't do that. And we'll just carry our little gravel over this way. Flooring out. Okay. So we need to just fill in those extra spots. And we'll put a little gray window up in the corner of these bathrooms to allow some natural light to come through. And our restroom doors. Just going off of what they have in the Sims. Okay. In order. Simple wall color that we can grab. It doesn't have to be spectacular. Just a regular paste colored wall paint for our little store in the park. Made mention of a little snack bar area, or sorry, an espresso bar area. So let's grab that. Oh, actually, do that in the corner there. And then if we can grab a counter to match that same look. Put our phone there. Little security system. Fire alarm. Maybe some little seats for people to sit down in. Something simple. And then maybe a little bistro or cafe table. Just something very simple. Very, very clean, very, very simple. And I will make this wall color a little bit different just so it can match the countertops. But again, very simple. We don't need to go all out because this is where we are. We're not in a residential lot. That works. I think the baseboard does pick up some of the detail of the wood. It's better. I like that. Yep. The bathrooms can stay the paste color. You know, if we just put a couple of windows behind here. Okay. Items for the Sims to purchase. Let's say I was thinking a little bit of a freezer section where people could get some grocery items. I'm just going to take this sitting area away. That way they can purchase some produce items if need be. You know, they want to take it out to the park. Some juice, some drinks, sodas, whatever they want. They can buy it at the register and then they can take it and enjoy it inside, or they can go out to the park area and sit down at the bench. I think that would work out really well. I like the idea of a little welcome mat. I want something a little bit more commercial. This, put that in our old house that we had. And we can do some plumbing in here. We can do our simple bathroom situation. These doors will not work for that. They are just a swing open door. Thinking about it a little bit further, so we will need to do some regular doors. Yep. that'll work. Okay, and we will do our, like we did the house, just pull that vanity in, make it a very neat, clean, simple bathroom for a park. Grab the mirror. I did like the idea of the hanging plants still in the bathroom because it does add a little bit of green, a little bit of greenery to the bathrooms. And we can do some lighting. Again, we want to do our recessed lighting to keep it simple, to the point. Some wall lights. Around the property there. And I'm thinking some shrubs just around the corner there, and then we can end it there. Looks pretty good. Now, let's grab our soil. Do what we did last time. This is where they planted these nice little shrubs with the red blossoms on them. Very classic, very classy look. The park department did a good job, huh? Right. I'm struggling. Please don't make fun of me. Okay, I'm really struggling right now, so I'm just going to skip through this part of the video because it's going to be a struggle if you're watching this, and I don't want you to have to deal with my incompetence with this soil planting, laying. Okay. So we're doing a little bit better. I'm just going to add some soil around this greenery here. Looks pretty good. I like that. Under the trees, add a little bit of soil. A little bit more realistic. Doesn't have to be perfect, just a little dab of soil. Just gonna sneak right past you. Okay, gives it a little bit, breaks up the soil a little bit so it's not so perfect. Do around every tree. A little bit more on some, a little bit less on others. Save our progress after this last tree. I think we're doing a great job so far, everybody. Let's lay down some benches and sitting areas for our dear Sims. I like the classic bench, classic color. Bad. some people might want to look at the water as well, you know, not just stare at, you know, something else. They want to be close to the water and look at the water to see what's going on. Yep, I think that looks really nice. The green, I think that works pretty well for a park area. We will have to flatten out this terrain, but we'll put a couple side by side. Move this off to the side for a moment. Level off this terrain. And we'll put our swing sets up. Nice. Nice. Carry a little bit of that gravel over. Here. Pardon me. And I know that under our swing set here, it would be good to have maybe some sand or something soft for the children. Park bark. Doesn't get any better than that. Looks a little odd with that cutting off right there, but very simple. And if we can grab a couple of trash bins for the park so people can dispose of their waste, that'd be a bit better. We might want to match this one. That way it's consistent across the park. Okay. Classic next to the benches, pretty classic. We have one here. We really don't have one there, but we should maybe put one next to that bench. Not bad. Save our progress. Some lighting through the park would be ideal. I've always loved this look. Oh, it's so traditional. Put a few around our water here. Okay. And you know, if we can okay, so if we could, those are park lights, you know, and if we have street lights, we want our traditional regular Sims street lights, so those are going to look a little bit more different than what the lights inside of the park would look like. Because the park is kept up a little bit differently. Do that. That was right on the edge where this one's on that line. So that does not look half bad, folks. Looking pretty good. And I think for the kids, we would want something lighting this up. Lights to light the playground up. We have lights around the building here. And let's look at nighttime, see if the lights go on. No, I think we have to be here at the lot in order for the lights to be on. For some reason that light's on. That looks pretty cute. I think this is a nice little park, and if we can add an area for people to be able to grill and eat their meals. There. A little grilling area. I'm looking for a little seating, outdoor seating area for our Sims. That's not bad. Might level a little bit of this area over this way, that way. Our Sims can enjoy dining on a flat surface. Like this. Okay. Not really a fan of that. I know we had our bistro table the last time, but it's a little bit too fancy for a park, if you know what I mean. Outdoor mini table. It just doesn't get any better than that. A two-top back here with a tree, allowing some privacy, looks pretty good. So they can grill, then they can go and sit down, grill, sit down. So we have a little park area that's really nice, with great little pond, wonderful little swing set area, very simple, very neat, and very clean. We have our phone booth as you walk into the front of the park. You have your little gift shop as you arrive and you find some food items to purchase. Want to get a coffee or something, use the restroom. It really has it all. It really has it all. And I'm just looking around here thinking of if we need anything else. It's not bad to have some music inside of your park shop. Surf. Nothing like some outdoor surf music for your little park to be outdoors. You know what? Happy shopping isn't bad either. Like happy shopping. Easy listening. Okay, we have our ceiling. So we are all set. Okay, everybody. Add some park benches at an angle, which will allow, like we were talking about with the cheat, which will break up the lot a little bit more, not make everything so 90 degrees. So we will do our little cheat here. accident. Okay. Like that, you know, that way it's not so geometrical. Maybe we could add one more right here. It's a little bit strange there. It's too close, so we don't need that. I'm wondering if we need one more. Let's just try something real quick if we can do that. And that's not bad. At an angle there, it looks a little bit less straight and a little bit more diverse with the way that things are placed. Not so cookie cutter. Okay, everybody, so last thing that we'll do is we can add some nice little shrub work in certain sections of our fence around our body of water. This will allow us a little bit more greenery, a little prettier, break up the areas that might have a lamppost or a sitting area so we don't take up the view from the Sims when they're sitting down. I think the yellow is very pretty, bright, different than the red that we have over near the building. Now that we've entered this area that's more gravel, we can kind of start again over here. More gravel, so we'll stop. Little trash area, we'll just go around it. Okay, I think that's really sweet. It breaks it up. And on the other side, maybe take some of the pink. Maybe do some very pretty little pink shrubs in certain areas of maybe the angles. Break up the landscape a little bit. Go around our shrubs back there. Coming together looks a lot more full. Doesn't need to be perfect, you know. Just enough to break up our area. This is a very, very sweet looking pond area. Doesn't need to be perfect, you know. We'll fill in some of our gaps with our shrubs. Cover the Sims from being able to see it. So we kind of did the main stuff first, stuff that had snapped to the grid to kind of understand our reference point. But now we can see, you know, when we change where our shrubs are and add some things to it off the grid, not being snapped to the grid, it looks a little bit more, I guess, natural. instead of so sterile and neat. Pull one more trash barrel. Looks fantastic, I believe, folks. I think we did a great job together once again. I thank you all very much once again for tuning in to this episode, our second episode of our Sims 2 relaxing building. I appreciate you taking the time to watch these videos. I really hope you are enjoying them. I believe the next video that I'm going to be doing, we will make another community lot, but we can do a mill building restaurant. And I have a fantastic idea for that one. It's going to be a little bit smoother than this one, I would think. You'll see it when I post it, but it's definitely going to be interesting. There's a restaurant that I like to go to, half hour away, on the water, coastal Massachusetts, and it's in an old New England town. And a woman had bought a mill building, and she built a restaurant within the mill building, and it's 3 stories, and it's an old building. It smells delicious in there, that nice old wood and brick, hardwood floors throughout. It's incredible. It's a great Mexican restaurant that we like to go to, and it's just a very unique spot. And you find that in these older towns and cities in New England. And I kind of got inspired by that with this restaurant idea. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you when I'm able to make the video. And hope to see you again soon. Thank you all very much and take care. Bye-bye.